Hey, what's up, Keppy Bros? Welcome back to a video on the channel. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about a topic that no one really talks about anymore. Well, I mean, people still talk about this topic, but no one brings it up anywhere near as much as they used to, just because, you know, nothing's really been done about it in, like, years now. But today I'm going to be discussing update schedules with Greenville. So as you guys probably know, right now Greenville only updates like once every 1 or 2 months, which compared to a lot of other games on Roblox is extremely slow for an update schedule. And even though with the stuff that Greenville does add in their updates, most of the time it does make it understandable why we have to wait that long. In my personal opinion, and in many others' opinions as well, a lot of people would rather Greenville add smaller updates in order to make them more consistent, because not only would that keep people entertained for longer, but that would also keep the game alive for longer. Because usually what happens is like a week or two after Greenville updates come out, the game begins slowly dipping in player count, and the game is essentially like pretty dry in player base up until they do another update like a month or so later. Whereas if they were just doing constant small updates, then the player base would really never dip off that much, since people would always be entertained by something new. And in my personal opinion, if Greenville updated like at least once every 2 weeks, which I would say is definitely very possible, by the way, because in the early revamp, and I think even in GV3 for a bit, Greenville was doing updates like every 2 weeks as well, and a lot of players enjoyed this, and I feel like this is what kept the game so alive during the revamp's early days. But as we all know, nowadays it's not anywhere near as popular as it was back then. Also, an interesting thing to point out is that Greenville was actually planning to more or less bring back a more consistent update schedule. However, as we all know, that never actually went through, and I'm not exactly sure what caused that, because it really seemed like that Greenville was actually going to start doing like smaller but more consistent updates. And I think they actually did stick to this for at least a good like month or so. But then after that, it literally just dipped off and everything just went back to normal how it's always been. Which kind of sucked in my opinion, since, you know, I was actually really happy to hear this announcement, since I knew how much it would actually help the game in the long run. But obviously, I'm not exactly sure like on the context on why they may have not done this. And I mean, I can kind of get from Greenville's POV why they don't want to do smaller consistent updates, since I'm pretty sure that they do more or less like doing bigger updates where they add tons of features and stuff like that. However, from their standpoint, I feel like it would not only be more beneficial for them to do more smaller but consistent updates, since it would keep their player base up and everyone entertained, but also it would be beneficial to the player base itself, as they would always be entertained by new updates, and they'd never have to like sort of guess when updates are coming out and whatnot, and they just know, and it would just be a lot more smooth going instead of what we have right now. Also, I feel like if we had more consistent updates, for example, one update every 2 weeks, which doesn't even have to be like a big update, by the way, this would also probably heavily mitigate the amount of people who harass developers, because I'm sure, as most of you guys who have Discord know, whenever updates are usually like a week or two from coming out, developers get absolutely slammed on Discord for no reason, just getting harassed by people telling them to release the update and all that. But I feel like if people just knew, or at least had a very rough idea of when updates were going to be dropping, then this wouldn't happen anywhere near as often, and if it still did, then it wouldn't happen anywhere near as bad. But yeah, so tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below, as I feel like this is probably Greenville's biggest issue that just never really gets spoken on that much anymore. But I feel like it would be so beneficial for Greenville, and I mean, Greenville themselves even knows about this to a degree, since Hunter, for example, literally announced that they were going to start more consistent updates, and I'm assuming the only reason why he would have said that in the first place is because that he realizes how beneficial this would actually be. But then again, I don't really know why they decided not really to go through with it at the end. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.